Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. It is officially the end of the regular season for the NFL, which is beyond crazy. I can't believe how fast the season went by. Kind of makes me sad. But we've entered playoff mode, and this is the most exciting part. So we're headed into Wildcard weekend. We are here to discuss everything and break everything down with you guys, and plus all of the craziness going on around the NFL. There's a lot happening right now. So I figure we just dive right into it. I'm your host, Lexi.
Hey, y'all. What's up? I am Jodi. Lexi's going to kick us off with the sponsor first.
Yes, I do want to talk about our sponsor, Pink Lips Cosmetics, which we do our lips with every week, Jodi and I. I've been rocking the red lips. She's been rocking the neutral lips. I don't have it right next to me right now. It's right over there. I can grab it in a minute. No, but we love their products. It is clean ingredients. It's awesome. It's based out of here in Kansas City, women owned. They're sold out of Target and Walmart as well. She has all kinds of different products. There's like eyeshadow palettes, there's contour sticks, there's lip stuff. I mean, everything you guys can think of. So check out her product, Pink Lips Cosmetics. Promo code 15% off with code KQ15. That's Kingdom's Queens 15, KQ15. So check out Pink Lips and support our local peeps.
We love it. She actually just posted a video too of her Target commercial, and I was like, so I reposted it on Kingdom.
Yes.
I'll go look at it. I was like, this is so cute.
It is, and like the product is so good. So
yeah, it is literally.
And for any men listening, if you wear it yourself, or if you have any women in your life that would love it, like hello,
literally. So. And it's like it's so freaking cold in Kansas City. You cannot be walking around here with chapped lips, Kansas City.
No, and actually, oh man, I got like her
the lip balm,
the vitamin C lip balm.
Yeah, it's so good.
Perfect for this dry weather right now because God,
it's so freaking good.
Jodi knows I was struggling right before this, so.
Hence why we're going at 6 and not 5. We originally said 4:30. That's the crazy part. We're like, yeah, 4:30.
We're right on time.
Right on time.
See, Aaron, he needs a chapstick.
You really do. It's really good. So you really do.
No, it really is. And it doesn't smell like anything fruity. It just smells like a natural
exactly whatever. Like a lip balm, literally. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get into just kind of some of the things that have been going around in the NFL. Like you kind of mentioned that today.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, low key, and I'm just like, okay. All right, well, one. I was just looking through all that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
The first thing that actually jumped out to me on the page is, I don't know if y'all have paid attention about what the heck has been going on with Deshaun Watson and his hot mess of a situation that is going on up there in Cleveland, but I can't even remember. One of these games of the last few weeks, he ruptured his Achilles, went out the game. Jameis Winston came in. We all love him, crowd favorite. Deshaun Watson season's over. Boom. He goes the next couple of days. He has surgery. He's on the road to recovery. Sure, whatever, right? Let me tell y'all about this fool. And how he somehow re-ruptured his Achilles. So the Browns put a statement out the other day, and they were like, looks like there's a setback with Deshaun Watson, and the path for his recovery is not going as expected. And we're like, what happened? And me, I don't know if you noticed, I was trolling about it because him and his girlfriend, the beautiful, I can't think of her name, they were on the side of a road on a highway doing a TikTok dance. And I was like,
oh, good luck.
Okay. Yeah. Literally, it was like the day before the Browns put the statement out. Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's why I laughed. And I was like, well, doing TikTok dances on the side of a highway is probably not a good idea.
With a torn Achilles?
With a torn Achilles, you idiot. I have to actually try to go find the video now because what in the world?
He has to be like the most unserious person.
Most unserious person I've ever seen. Anyway, well, he re-ruptured his Achilles, and not only is he again still out for the season, which is technically over because it's week 19. But who knows if he even comes back now?
Yeah.
At this point, do you even come back next season? So my question to you is, do you think the Browns should draft another quarterback this season?
Absolutely, they should. Yeah.
That's what
I don't even think there's another option.
mm-hmm.
If y'all want a chance at success and keeping Myles Garrett around, he doesn't want to stay around if there's no like good long-term plan because he doesn't want to waste his prime years, which do not blame him. Yeah, no, and I don't think like I like Kevin Stefanski. I like their head coach. I think they do have some talent on that team, but yeah, no, I don't even think Deshaun Watson. I think even if Deshaun Watson was ready to play week 1, I still think you draft a quarterback and competition. So
we laughed during like the season and all off season last year about like Deshaun Watson having like the worst contract in NFL history, and then even Russell Wilson having like the second worst contract in NFL history. And everybody talked about the Broncos for them getting out of their contract with Russ and then, you know, paying half and then taking half of the cap hit and then him going to another team and blah, blah, blah. But they kind of just ripped off the Band-Aid, the Broncos did. And they were like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Now they're a playoff team, right? The Browns need to get to that point. They just need to just rip off the Band-Aid, understand that it's not happening with Deshaun Watson, take the cap hit over the next few years, go draft a quarterback that you do not have to pay for the next 4 or 5 years, and try to get out of the cap hell that you're in. So,
or even like, let's say they didn't and they could trade for someone.
Yeah.
Who would you trade for? I don't know.
Well, who would you get rid of? You're gonna have to get rid of a piece to go get someone. I mean, they can come get Carson Wentz next year. I mean, they could go get Drew Lock.
He didn't really.
I mean, there are guys out there that they could go and get, but are those guys going to lead your franchise to the playoffs, especially in the AFC North? Can these guys beat the guys that are in the AFC North? So
that's the thing. You're in like such a tough division that I don't know.
It's a hot mess.
Yeah. Because even though the Bengals aren't in it this year, I think they're going to be in it next year because they're whatever. But the Ravens are going to be in it every year. The Steelers have a case pretty much every year. I mean, the Browns, like, they don't ever catch a break, ever. But this is on them. This is on them. Fully.
They have to start from, you got to get rid of everybody. Top down. Rip it, burn it all down from the top to the bottom. Like, you got to get rid of everybody. Anyway, moving on. The Bengals are officially out of the playoffs. What?
Sorry, I just saw a notification on my phone. Maybe more snow. I'm like, wait. Huh?
Actually, I heard that too, and I'm like, we're really over it. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Please, no. Like, we are burnt out.
We're blizzarded.
The Bengals are officially eliminated out of the playoffs. Shout out to the Chiefs backups. You know, we had a really long discussion about this last week, and we said that this team was going to go out there and they were going to give it all that they could. They didn't even score a point. 38-0. I was like, okay, now, like, I had us losing by like 7.
So it's
7 points. That was it, and that was the max.
We're 11-point underdogs, and I was like, oh no, there's no like. No, like there's no way they beat us by 11.
Oh boy, did they? Did they?
I should have thought. I think most of us thought differently. I think most of us should have used our brains more and thought like maybe the Broncos were a team on a mission to get into the playoffs, and we had backups in a game plan that did not give a shit.
I just want to make it very clear that I did not have the Chiefs winning last week because I knew the Broncos were. I knew the Broncos were going to do that. They literally left their starters until almost the end of the third quarter.
No, the fourth. Bo Nix was in the fourth quarter.
And then we are already on our third string quarterback by then.
Yeah.
So now I did expect a little more out of Carson Wentz. Now, the debate is, would he? Yes, Carson Wentz would have had a better game if it was with the starters. Duh, right? But I was expecting him to still at least lead these men to be a little bit.
It's like I had a feeling because the Broncos' defensive line is so good.
Yep.
They are so good. Yep. They were really good against our starters.
Yeah. And the game that they literally just had the week before against the Bengals.
Yeah.
So like I was not.
And it was a meaningless game. The game plan was absolutely horrible. I mean, I don't even know. There was nothing to it. So even if Carson had a chance, I'm like, did he have a chance? Because like there was no anything.
You know, my thought was Travis Kelce was calling the offense and Chris Jones was calling the defense. That was my thought. I was like, Andy and Spags probably just handed the books over. Like, you know what? Here you go, guys.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Because that was a mess.
It was a mess. It was not good. If you saw like the close-ups of Travis and Patrick and our starters on the sidelines, they were all just like, huh?
Yeah, they were wildly confused. Just like, can't lie. I think I stopped watching that game like 2 minutes into the third quarter. I was like, all right, I'm turning on the Rams game.
I was looking my chili. I was not like really bad. I was like, I had the
multi-view on, and I never watched Chiefs games at multi-view. I always only focus on the Chiefs game. And I was like, I can't do this. This is torture. I'm like, this is torture. I can't do this. Okay, before we continue to dive in on the Chiefs.
But yeah, the Bengals in turn miss out. So
yeah, the Bengals are out. I don't know if you guys watched Hard Knocks yet, but hilarious.
Oh yeah. I can't wait for next
5
week.
minutes of the episode where they were all sitting back and watching.
And they were like, oh, who was it? Who was it? Oh, their wide receiver, Andre Yoshivash or whatever.
Yeah.
He was saying, he's like, man, I hate that this is in the hands of someone else. And they're all watching our game sitting there. And they're like, oh, no, surely it won't. Like, it went up like 14-0. And they were like, no, they'll make it close. Like, they'll get in here somewhere. And then it just like.
I rewound that part.
It just like died.
I rewound it like 3 times. I was like, I want to watch this part again.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch this part again.
But like the funniest thing, like of all the teams that it came down to that they needed to win, that the fact that it was the Chiefs is poetic and hilarious. And sorry,
and the Dolphins lost.
Yeah, they literally, the Bengals had like 50 things they needed to happen, and everything happened except for us winning. And Bengals fans,
which we told y'all. I don't want to say we. I told Bengals fans we were not winning this game. I was like, I don't care what y'all think. I don't care how y'all feel. We are literally going to be playing with our 3s, our 4s, and our practice squad. The Broncos have to win this game.
If the
Chiefs are going to show fight, but they're not going to. No, they're not going to go all out to win this game when they don't have to. 15-2 is an incredible record. That is a great season.
It is.
I'll take it.
I mean, this would never happen in the Patrick Mahomes era, but if he relied upon someone to get him into the playoffs and needed things to happen, I'm going to knock on wood as I say that because I hope it would never happen. I don't think that would ever happen in the Mahomes era, but if you were to tell me the Bengals were the team that needed to win, like against the Browns to get them in, you really think the Bengals are going to let the Chiefs in? No.
Absolutely not.
For two, Bengals fans, if you really think the Chiefs are scared to play you with a 9-8 record, come on.
Wow.
Come on. Like, no. So there's just
we wish you guys the best of luck in this offseason.
The fact that.
And Cam Taylor-Britt, so I don't know if you guys seen what Travis Kelce said on his podcast, which was also hilarious. Long story short, he was like, I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of no team. We beat everybody. we can meet in the off season at Walmart. I don't care. Don't care. And then Cam Taylor-Britt.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Cam Taylor-Britt, safety corner for the Bengals, who got torched, by the way, by us, except on one play.
Did have a nice interception, but yeah.
One play. One.
Okay. We'll give him that.
He was like, "We don't believe what you're saying, Travis." I'm sorry, I can't hear you from the couch. Huh? I'm sorry, Cam Taylor-Britt. I cannot hear your ass from the couch. What? Yeah, that's what I thought. Enjoy your next few months in the off season and watch us go to the Super Bowl. I
love it.
I cannot.
Did you see Walmart commented and they're like, "We'd love to have you guys."
I did not see that, and that is hilarious. And I love Travis Kelce. And also, which Walmart parking lot so I can like pre-plan my tailgate in advance.
Let me bring my chair.
Literally.
We will be there.
Some more news around the NFL. I don't know if you guys seen this. Saquon Barkley. No, that's not who I meant. Same team. Jalen Hurts officially cleared to practice again. He has been out under concussion protocol for the last few weeks. He took a really scary hit against.
Was it the Commanders?
Yeah, it was. He took a really scary hit against during the Commanders game. Tried to come back in the game, and the referee was like, "Absolutely not." No. They went to go check him out, and then he was immediately out. So I'm actually really glad that like the ref had that type of awareness to not let him come back into the game and put himself in a situation where he could be even more hurt. Specifically because he was out the rest of that game, and then he was out all of week 18 too. So I'm glad that he took the time to get the rest because you're already in the playoffs, right? Like y'all have already locked up your division. You're already in the playoffs. Like take the rest, get healthy, and we'll see you in the first round.
Absolutely.
He was finally cleared yesterday, I believe, to practice again. And Smitty was also, Devontae Adams was also cleared because I believed he like hurt his knee or something. So he started practicing again.
You mean Devontae Smith?
Who did I say?
Adams. Who's also on the couch.
Shame. Devontae Smith. Well, I called him Smitty at first.
Yeah, you did. That's why I was like, wait.
Devontae Smith. I'm like, so it looks like the Eagles are going to be healthy going into the playoffs, which is good for them. And define healthy right at week 19, but they're all cleared and they should be ready to go in that game.
I hope Jalen Hurts is like actually like clear. Like I'm sure he is, but like I hope he's on his game.
Yeah.
But it's a week 1 rematch, so that should be fun. And I think Jordan Love.
I know we're going to talk about the playoffs later. Yeah, we can get into that later because I have thoughts about that game. But yeah, it's definitely the week 1.
Yeah, we'll get into
rematch from in Brazil. Next, I think it's very important that we just kind of take a moment and we send our love, prayers, condolences, everything that we even have to state of California, the city of LA, and every single thing that is happening there because it is something that I could not even imagine going through, and it's just incredibly like sad and hurtful and just every emotion that you could feel, angry, watching all of the wildfires that are currently happening in LA. So I know we have a ton of fans that listen to us from LA and California. Please know that we love y'all and we have been thinking about y'all since this has been going on. Lexi lived in LA for several years. She got friends and family out there, praying for her friends and family as well, just because this is a very scary situation.
It's really awful to see. And like, I've genuinely cried like 3 times because I just, I loved living in California. I love, like, that was such a solid part of my life. It like shaped me in so many ways. It was my early 20s when I lived there. Now I'm 32. I'm so old, but no, I love LA. And like, I'm watching like the place I lived. I was in like Studio City, North Hollywood area. And even they were under evacuation warnings. And I'm just like thinking like, I can't even imagine what these people are going through. I know like celebrities and stuff have lost their homes and people don't want to like have empathy for any of that. But I'm like, if you think about it, it's losing everything you worked for and all your
Right.
memories and that's the real stuff. Is like it's not all the like designer clothes you're sad about. It's the freaking memories you made there and all of your possessions just going into up in flames. Like I can't even imagine. So all of our prayers are out there with you guys. And
absolutely.
horrible.
So with that being said, they moved the game. So there was supposed to be a playoff game it's supposed to be Rams versus
Vikings.
Rams versus Vikings. I'm like, why can't I put this in my head? Rams versus Vikings was supposed to happen in LA on Monday for Monday Night Football, and that game has now been relocated to a neutral location, which is going to be where the Arizona Cardinals Stadium is in Arizona at State Farm Arena. Crazy. So that is where that game will be moved to and pushed to this week. And Lexi, I want you to get into the details because I seen the tweet, but I didn't really read the tweet about what the Cardinals organization did for
that was really cool to see. They especially because they're division rivals and the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs. So I think this is really, really a classy move. Really a classy move from them. But they offered their 2 private team planes to go to LA. They sent out their planes to LA to pick up all the players, the families, any pets that they needed to bring. Like they're bringing all of that to Arizona, and then Arizona's graciously letting them use their stadium to play in. And I also saw that, and I think like they're letting them use all the practice facilities, anything they need. Their game's not till Monday night, so they have a little while. So yeah, I just thought that was really cool. And then I did see too that I'm not always her biggest fan, but Kelly Stafford actually is organizing charter buses for fans to come
I love that.
Arizona to watch the game. So I thought that
I haven't seen that, but I love that. I just like, I know like JJ Redick, he's the head coach for the Lakers. He lost his home. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, she lost her home. And just so many celebrities have not reached out, but just kind of expressed like what they were going through. So I mean, again, continued prayers. I believe there still are fires today, right? They're not contained.
Yeah, I don't think so. So unfortunately, it's still going. I did retweet something yesterday that one of the Rams fans that's still in St. Louis, he and one of his friends, they're both like kind of on Twitter with a platform. They organized a little something. If you guys want to scroll down my feed a little bit from yesterday, I donated to it yesterday. So they're doing a GoFundMe, but it's so that they can kind of split up the donations.
Yeah.
And into these 4 different great things. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, y'all keep looking out. There's tons of places where you can donate to, tons of people who you can reach out to who have posted all kind of things where you can make donations and love, just really anything. So
yeah,
check out all your social media platforms. You cannot miss it. Right. All right. Continuing on to around the NFL, which I actually we're going to probably get into a little bit of Chiefs now. So if you guys had a chance to listen today, there was a Chiefs press conference today with Andy Reid. He said lots of good things. When I took away from the press conference, almost everything he said today was really positive. Like he spoke about a lot of the guys who were battling injuries, who have like full practices this week. He spoke about Jalen Watson having a good practice, DJ Humphries having a good practice. He spoke about Harrison Butker having a good practice. And then he spoke about Mecole Hardman coming back and having a good practice. So, I mean, I will say like that is the positives of having this rest, 24 days of rest to where your guys can recover, get treatment, come back on the field, be ready to go. Not even this week. Like we still technically have like another 10 days. Days until we actually play football. So, but Andy Reid did speak to that today. He spoke about how we had everyone active in practice today. And then he even like kind of spoke about how like we know that this is like a different type of situation, but the amount of rest that these players have been having, but you have seen them still being very active and still working out, whether they're in Kansas City or they're in their home state. They're still working out. They're still being active and doing like the things that they need to do to make sure their bodies are good and ready to go. What were you about to say?
I think what's interesting is it's only like think like 2 or 3 more days than they had in 2021. So people are making this huge deal of it, like, oh, it's all this time off. I'm like, they're gonna be fun. But like it's only actually like a few more days. Like, and this team has done this year after year after year. Like, this isn't new.
There's no reason to worry about this.
Or rookies, sure, but like they're gonna be right with all the vets. So,
And the vets are going to be like, no, you need to make sure you're doing this. No, you need to make sure you're doing that. And I'm sure that they're like practicing and training together. Like, I would get like if this was the Chiefs' maybe first or second year ever going on this playoff run. Again, we have guys on this team who have 2 rings. We have guys on this team who have 3 rings. Like, this is something that is natural for them. We spoke about it last year when the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl and media week and things of that nature and what that was going to look like. And And it's like, we knew we didn't have to worry about that because this team literally just did it the year before. So while a lot of people are like worried about the amount of time off, there's really no need to have any of that. They're going to be just fine. Now, I will say this, and I know we'll get into this even more next week when we have our special guest, which we'll wait for next week. But they will probably have like the first few drives, the first drive or 2 may be rusty.
Yeah.
Like, y'all need to just expect that.
Yeah.
They got to get the rust off.
If it's not, then amazing. If it is, expected,
Exactly. It is what it is. Just if you accept it now, you will be happy in 8 days. Yeah.
And I know we'll get into all of this. Yeah, it's going to be freezing. So my hope is that we like play a team like the Texans or the Chargers, a warm weather team that has to come into the cool weather, and
a team that plays in a dome and they don't know what it's like playing outside, because there's a real high possibility that the snow on the ground will still be on the ground next week. It's going to warm up for like a day, but even today the sun was out in Kansas City. It did warm up a little bit, but all that snow and ice that started melting on my drive back home froze right back over. I didn't tell you, I almost died in my subdivision trying to get back home, Lexi. Right before. But all of that stuff is already frozen back over because it's already under 32 degrees again. So like,
it's a cycle.
And so like, I know we're going to talk about the playoffs later on in the show, but there's a 12-degree difference between Saturday and Sunday. Now, I'm almost positive we're going to have the Saturday game, which we'll have that confirmation after Monday night.
Right.
But Saturday is supposed to be like 32 degrees and Sunday is supposed to be 20 degrees. So that is a big, major difference in weather in Kansas City. And just think, I think we're going to have the day game. What if it's the night game?
Exactly.
Oh my Lord.
However, we did this last year. We survived last year, so
we're gonna die. We didn't die last year. I'm like, we didn't die last year. It was just freezing.
We didn't die. We froze, but we didn't die.
So last week we also was this last week? Oh yeah, last week we also spoke about the All-Pro list that came out. So the NFL has announced the All-Pro list.
The Pro Bowl. Now it's Pro.
Oh, you're right.
But
last week, the NFL announced the Pro Bowl list. We went off about that. We were very excited for our 4, but it was BS because it should have been more. This week, they announced the All-Pro list. So if you don't know, the All-Pro list is what you've probably been seeing it called AP. It's a list of all NFL players that can be selected. They're voted on by their performance based off of the year's 50 voters. Well, no, that's not correct. No, it is correct. 50. It's 50 total voters that go through and they vote for everyone.
Yeah.
The Chiefs had 3 All-Pros that made this list. Very excited for it. So
the first team, they had 1 make the second team.
Yeah, we had 4 All-Pros, 3 first ballot, 1 that was second. So your first ballot was Creed Humphrey, Joe Tooney, Chris Jones. Congratulations to them. They were all
like absolutely. Without a doubt, absolutely.
Right. And then we have 1 second team All-Pro, which like congratulations, but it really feels like a slap in the face. Congratulations to Trent McDuffie, who should be a first team All-Pro. But he made it as a second team All-Pro this season. So last year he was a first team All-Pro. This year he is a second team All-Pro. I want to say this. Like, I know that there's a lot of people who are like, Trent McDuffie is good. Trent McDuffie is not good, whatever. But the one thing that I need everybody to remember is last year he was a first team All-Pro with L'Jarius Sneed. This year he is a second team All-Pro. He still had, I don't want to say the same level of production because he's had to play in so many different roles being a corner this year.
That's the thing.
All over.
Losing Jalen Watson,
losing L'Jarius Sneed and still being able to put up like the type of numbers that he did. Yes, sometimes.
Number one lockdown though. Like he like
I would give him 90% of the season he was locked down for sure.
Yeah.
Like there were definitely some times where dudes would catch long balls on him or dudes would score in the end zone on him.
Now there are other elite players, like there just are.
Yeah. And honestly, if Trent wouldn't have got those 2 back-to-back interceptions in the last few weeks of the season, he might not have been an All-Pro. Like if he might have been able to pull one of those out earlier in the season. Now, the 2 interceptions that he finally recorded are the first of his NFL career, and it took 3 seasons to get there. But hey, better than nothing, right? So, I mean, I don't know if he necessarily would have made the All-Pro ballot if he wouldn't have had those 2 picks, especially in the last.
Which is crazy. Because he made it last year and didn't even have an interception.
But I think that has to do with how great him and L'Jarius Sneed were as a pair. So I do think that, like, say Jalen Watson was playing this season, and we could be different together and really see Trent playing in that inside and not outside. Like, I think if we could have really seen that, then Trent would have easily been.
Trent he's naturally a slot, so if he can play that all the time, then I think you see different results at the end. But we had to adjust to, and I mean, a lot of teams did, but we adjusted as we could throughout the season, and
we were 15-2.
Great,
and we're the first round season. It's like you can't really be upset about that, right? Now, I will say there are a ton of Chiefs fans who are pissed off because Patrick Mahomes got 0 votes. So we can even get into what that topic sounds like with the quarterback. So as you guys know right now, they're going to be announcing who the MVP is. They're going to be announcing who the MVP of the NFL is. I believe this week. No, next.
No. Not till February.
Oh,
remember, it's the week before the Super Bowl. So we got a long time on that, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
What was I just? Maybe they were talking about No. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because they do those awards.
They just said that they were going to announce something next Thursday. So maybe I'm totally wrong on that. I'm like, I know we will. Yeah, it'll be the week of the Super Bowl. So right now, as you guys know, there's the race right now between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, right? So a lot of people do not know this and should know this, but a lot of the people who vote for the All-Pro votes, not only are they just certain people of like the NFL, but it's majority like media members from all NFL teams. That's how they vote for the MVP too. So Lamar Jackson had 30 votes. Josh Allen had 18 votes. Joe Burrow had 2, which I don't understand. Okay, right.
Well,
but to me, I thought Josh Allen was the shoe-in for MVP, but seeing how the All-Pro votes came out, and these are a lot of the same people who vote for both categories, majority media members, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Lamar might win his 3rd MVP this season.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy, and he is great in the regular season. Eventually, he's going to need to turn that up in the playoffs. So that's all I have to say about that. But you're a great regular season quarterback. You're elite. He had his best season. I think there are a lot of goalposts moved for Lamar because I think last year, if you look at a lot of his stats, he had some stats that weren't even top 10 last year, and he won MVP. Then he gets this year, he has better stats than Josh Allen, but I think Josh Allen did a lot more with a lot less around him. He had an elite running back, but his best receiver was Amari Cooper that was added halfway through the year and didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, didn't do a whole lot. He had Mac Hollins. I mean, it's like he was their offense.
Yeah.
And Ravens fans last year, and I don't disagree with Lamar getting it last year. I just think it's funny how they moved the goalpost this year. Well, now Lamar deserves it because he has the best stats, right? Well, he didn't last year and he won it. And there was Dak Prescott sitting there with better stats last year.
Yeah.
So you got to decide what you want to base it on. I still think
the narrative changes every year.
Right.
It depends on who they want to push.
If I had to vote this year, I think I would vote for Josh Allen. I think he's proved enough. He got his team to, what's their record? I don't even know, but they're the second seed.
13, 14 and
14 and 3. 13 and 4 or 14 and 3, one or the other.
Yeah, they're like, actually, I think they went one. Keep going, I'll look.
But yeah, I don't know. And I mean, I think it speaks that, I mean, no one wants to hear this, but Mahomes could have even had a case to be MVP this year. I'm not even going to go into that because, yeah, towards the end of the year.
13 and 4. Yeah, towards the end of the year.
I wouldn't vote for
Patrick turned it up and cleaned it up. Like those last 5-6 games, yeah, he was on point those last 5-6
There's
games.
a reason. I mean, Lamar, he struggled at points during the year too. Like people want to overlook that. Now, so did Josh Allen.
I think the only reason Josh Allen gets it is because he beat the Chiefs and Lamar didn't.
Which is a valid argument, honestly.
Like I think that's the only reason. Now, we'll say if Lamar would have beat
the Raiders and the Browns.
If Lamar would have beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, now that says a lot. Josh Allen can't beat us here, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He beat us at home.
And Lamar's never even played here in the playoffs, so who knows? But I don't know. It's just funny. The goalposts are funny. It's a funny conversation. But I would give it to Josh Allen this year.
I cannot believe that Josh Allen. So I'm gonna troll for about 20 seconds. I cannot believe Josh Allen suited up for week 18 so he could keep his starting record alive.
I know.
Now, I understand that you have nothing else. I get it. You have no MVPs. Your all-pro is second team. You have no Super Bowl. I get it. It's all you got.
He
went in for one to pay right out and put his
I saw someone say today that Josh Allen is always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
It's me. We're the same.
I was like, damn.
It's me. We're the same.
Oh man, yeah. Honestly.
That's actually hilarious. But I think that they are going to give Josh Allen the MVP because he doesn't have one. However, I would not be surprised if Lamar ended up with it.
I'm actually, this is the first time in a really long time it hasn't been clear cut, and I'm excited to see who gets it.
I want to look something up just super fast while we're talking about this topic. I don't know if I can find it as quickly. I want to see how much the odds have moved because, like, Josh Allen,
the odds moved in Lamar's favor. So now Lamar is the favorite to win.
Josh Allen was like the clear favorite.
He was very
for like a long time. Okay.
Made me laugh.
What's it say?
Josh Allen.
Here's something funny. Ever notice nobody pronounces his name right? They say, I mean,
Josh.
you know, it depends on what city you live in.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
It depends on where you live at.
And Josh actually has like a low-key, like, country accent side of him.
Oh, you know,
thanks for being here, King Jamie the Mad. Glad you found our show.
Shout out to all of y'all in here listening right now. While I'm looking this up.
A little Friday night. We're not usually on Fridays. We've been Friday the last few weeks just because of how
this is week 3 on Friday. Lexi.
Yeah.
We got about 1,000 people in here listening. If you're on YouTube, I need you to just go ahead and go hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up.
But yeah.
Hit the thumbs up.
YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere you guys want to follow us, please do. Apple, Spotify, if you want to listen later.
I say it right. I know I say it right. I'm proper.
Am I saying it wrong? Maybe I am. I don't know.
I know I say it right. And it's funny because I really sound like a Texan half of the time, but I'm really proper because I'm from Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Already says it right. I know. Josh Allen. He's a bum. No, I'm kidding. We got a sponsor to get into before we get into more Chiefs. We have a lot of, no, we don't have a lot of Chiefs to talk. We're going to talk a little week 18. We got like 5 minutes of week 18, y'all. Like, you seen it. Y'all watched it. 38-0. Oh, that's not the right.
Oh, wait, I got it.
Yes, it is. Y'all seen it. It wasn't spectacular. It was bad. It was rough.
It was quite bad. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Download the Autograph app, y'all. I'll go ahead and do it.
You can do it.
Make sure you download the Autograph app. If you have not downloaded the Autograph app yet through Kingdom Queens, what are you literally waiting on? You can download the Autograph app on Apple and your Android if you're an Android user. Green bubbles are crazy, but you can download the Autograph app. On there, you can look at all your favorite sports teams. You can purchase tickets to your favorite games. You can listen to every podcast under whatever platform, whether it's NFL, MLB, soccer, WNBA, whatever. On there, they have the best pricing for tickets, too. They look at all of the places where you can get tickets, and they come up with their own number, which should give you the best deal. We're in playoff mode right now, y'all. And you know the tickets to Arrowhead are going to be a little bit more expensive than a regular season. I would definitely go on there first to make sure you check the prices for the game so you can be set up and ready to go. Again, you can listen to Kingdom Queens on there too. We're literally on the app. So go to your app store, download the Autograph app. It's a big A. It's highlighted in like highlighter green, yellow. Use the promo code Kingdom Queens and literally get all of these tools. I mean, you can even, the more you listen, the more you're interactive, you can earn points and coins on there, and you can use those things to purchase things. Someone literally bought like a jersey on there, a Patrick Mahomes jersey. And if you didn't know this, it's literally, Tom Brady is one of the CEOs. So it's like, come on, y'all.
You know it's good if he's behind.
I have not downloaded it. Even though he's a Raider now. But download the Autograph app. Right. Download the Autograph app. Make sure you're using promo code Kingdom Queens. We're depending on you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and kind of get into week 18 Chiefs versus Broncos. So again, we don't really have a ton to say about this because I will say it was our third string, our fourth string, and some of our practice squad guys who were out there along with Carson Wentz and Chris Oladokin. Did I say it right?
Sure.
I probably said it wrong.
I still don't know the proper.
I only have one thing to take away from this game. Only one. Because I'm not going to get into it because we lost 38-0 with all of our backups in and they had their starters in until the fourth quarter. What's going on with Harrison Butker?
She's zero game plan.
Zero. I
think he's still just getting off of his injury and kind of. That's honestly what I think. I still think he's better than any. I mean, our backups did fine. We got lucky on a doink.
No, they didn't. No, they did not.
They were okay. That's what I'm saying, though. Harrison. No. I'm saying our backup kickers. Oh, yeah, we had when Harrison was gone.
Okay. Woo! I was like, now Lexi.
No. Our backups did terrible. Our backups to Harrison.
And we still love you the same. We love you the same. You just got
good. No, but I think he's just getting through the injury. I think I could retract these words after the playoffs or the Super Bowl or whatever, however far we go. But for me, I've never had a worry about Harrison Butker in the playoffs. He's been so clutch when we need him. And I'm not going to like preemptive worry about him. I'm going to worry like if I see these problems go into the playoffs. So right now I'm going to say this out of his system. I think he's still kind of injured, but I think these he's had like 2 weeks of rest now. I think he'll be all right. I really do.
So I think that's the thing, right? I don't think we're in a situation to where we can afford for him to not be his normal self. If we sit back and look at last season and the amount of games that we won off of a field goal. Do you have that faith right now?
No, but
I'm terrified. I am terrified.
It's not that I don't. I think we just got to put him in better positions, honestly. I think our offense last year, we relied so much on field goals because we couldn't do a lot on offense. Like our offense just could not
score in the red zone.
Was not our strength last year. Let's be real. So, I think we have the offense this season that can put us in way better position than to just rely on field goals. And I think Harrison Butker has that clutchness he can shift into. I think our whole team was so off this past week that it didn't even surprise me that he didn't make it because nothing was going right. So I feel like just get that crap out of your system. Get back into the mindset where you can make any kick and you can do anything, and then you'll be good to go. That's my.
I hope it's that easy. I mean, I do hope that the rest. I do hope that the rest that he's getting right now, because I said this a couple weeks ago, he's still planting the exact same way.
Did you see how he fell on that leg? Oh my God! In Denver.
He's been doing it every week, and that is what sent your butt to the hospital in the first place, Harrison.
God dang.
You got to stop. You got to chill because you're going to put yourself in a situation to where you're going to have another off-season surgery.
Yeah.
And then we're dealing with this again. So, excuse me. I'm really hoping it's not a situation where we brought him back too soon, especially when Matthew Wright was doing well. I had to think about which one.
I didn't even really understand why we brought him back when we did. Why don't we rest him?
Yeah. I don't either. And we didn't have the 1 seed locked then.
No.
I do think that had something to do with it. We did not have the 1 seed locked then. And Andy probably.
I think the problem with Matthew Wright was he didn't quite have the distance we needed. He couldn't.
But he was solid. He was 4 for 4 and 3 for 4.
He got lucky on a doink. He got lucky on a doink on one. That could have gone either way. I mean, it wasn't like
that scared Andy. Andy was like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, all right. Yeah. That's the thing is you couldn't blame just one person when the entire team didn't show up. It just was not a good game.
I'm gonna blame Harrison. And I'm not blaming Harrison Butker for anything, but I definitely have concerns on is he gonna be able to do this?
People do. I'm just gonna choose to be
in cold weather games. I know how my knees get when it's cold outside.
I know, yeah. And it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold in Arrowhead, and
it's gonna be freezing. And so I do think you're right. I do think the rest that's happening right now during this season, which technically he's not even getting the 24 days of rest because he did play last week. So I mean,
but luckily he didn't have too much. He had one. He was hardly in. So
yeah. So hopefully
hopefully he and Matt get it all sorted out this week, and we're back to what we know with them. So hopefully that all works out.
I do not have any players of the game. I have none of
that. Who would be the player of the game? No one did anything.
I have nothing. What did we do? I have nothing.
Wait, my one positive was that Nico Remigio had a good game. He was good.
Nico's been good.
I saw from him, but that was about it.
Nico's been good the last few weeks, so I have no complaints about Nico, and I will say I hope we can figure out a way to keep him on the playoff roster with all these guys starting to come back, like Hartman and Jalen Watson. I really hope, because I'm gonna be real honest.
Jaden Hicks was showing out too. He had a good game too.
Jaden Hicks been going crazy. He was going crazy the week before when all the starters were playing. Yeah. This is going to be very controversial. I want to see Nico Remigio over Nicole every week. He's been much better than Miko.
He's been very good.
Sorry. I know a lot of people, and I know like the history of Miko Harmon and what he's done for this team and what he has brought for this team. And I'm super, super grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to see Nico. And I do think that like he can be there. Like you can be there.
I like that we have the option of both. Like in case if Nico does start struggling
or
something.
Both in the backfield. Yeah. Get Carson still out there. Put them both back there. Exactly. And then let's see what happens. Because now you can use the special teams, their special teams with who's going to get the ball, Nico or Miko. That's what I would like to see. So
Nico and Miko. I also just really quickly want to say I really, really wanted to see Carson Wentz do well that game, and I'm kind of bummed he didn't, and I'm kind of bummed it was as bad as it was. Because that's gotta be like ego crushing. Like that.
I literally it's probably brutal. I said, Carson Wentz is definitely going to be a starter after this game. It's my fault. I said he can start for any NFL team.
Andy Reid has been saying that. Like, we've been led to believe that. I don't know. I feel
bad. I would just blame it on there literally being only the 3 and 4s out there. Yeah. And Andy didn't draw up a good game plan. What if he actually would have gave him
That's the thing too. And there was like zero
no effort at all.
But still, it doesn't do him any favors. So
it's like, it doesn't do him any favors. No. But regardless, and I kind of want to get into this. I know we're not talking playoffs yet because we still have another week for that.
We're about to.
But like,
we're about to talk
about Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, who do you bring back? Like, Hollywood Brown didn't play that many games, but if he wins a Super Bowl ring, then what? Does he go out and get a contract with another team? So that's kind of like the same.
I think he wants to be back here. I think Hollywood wants to come back because he never got to play with Mahomes hardly.
I don't know how we figure it out, but I want Hollywood Brown and D-Hop back.
Me too.
I don't know how we do it, but that's what I want. Let's go ahead and get into this next sponsor. And we're actually getting ready to go ahead and transition to our underdog segment. And this week is going to be Super Wildcard Weekend.
Can't wait.
I guess. Super Wildcard Weekend. That's where we're headed next. But it's also going to be brought to you by Underdog. So, all right, y'all. I put a ticket in today. Right now, Texas and Ohio State are playing. It's a great game. Everybody thinks that Texas is going to get murdered. I don't know if you're watching this game at all. But Ohio State actually did just score, and I can't see Quentin Johnson. No, I can't see who just scored. Sorry, I need glasses, y'all. But Ohio State just put points on the board. And I did put a little ticket in for this game, so we'll see. But if you have not downloaded Underdog Fantasy yet, if you're in Missouri, if you're in Kansas, this app is now available in both of your states. So you can download this. If you're listening from anywhere else, California, Georgia, Texas, where you cannot bet with sports books, you can bet on the Underdog app. So California, Texas, Georgia, download this app too. And make sure you use the promo code Kingdom's Queens. It's in all capital letters right there on the screen. But yeah, on there, it's super cool. You can pick up to like 8 different picks.
Yeah, like an 8 leg.
Which is insane. You can pick up to 8 different tickets.
Like, if you win, the prize money is good. Like, you can put like $20 down, and like some of these picks, like, yeah, they're crazy. They'll have you winning up to like $500. So exactly.
And that's the thing. So like, there's a place on there where you could just do like a straight ticket, and you can pick 5 people, and you're gonna pick their overs on their unders. Like Travis Kelce, you could take, if you think he's gonna score a touchdown or not, you would take the over on that. You know, Hollywood Brown yards. Do you think he'll get 59.5 yards? Do you think he'll get over that or under that? So you can go on there and pick overs and unders on what you think individual players are going to do. You cannot bet on a specific team, but you can bet
on different things to happen.
And I say bet.
It's really fun.
It's not bet. You're going to place an entry on these players. And you can just take their overs and unders, which is like super cool. Now I will say they have an option that I love that Lexi was just talking about, where you can go up to 8 players and pick their overs and unders, and they have an option to where even if all 8 people don't hit their actual goal, you still can cash out basically if like 6 or 7 people do hit their goal.
Yes, that's the thing. You can go all in, or you can do like if 1 or 2 things don't hit, and you'll still make money. So
absolutely,
it's really cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
You can also do, it's more than NFL too, y'all. You could do NFL, you could do NBA. Baseball season is getting ready to come up. You could do MLB, you could do WNBA, you could do hockey. Literally every single sport. Everything is on there. So if you have not downloaded Underdog yet, please make sure you do. Use the Kingdom Queens promo code, and we'll match your deposit up to $1,000. So like you can't beat that at all. Like you cannot beat that. And I know that me and Lexi both have been like, ooh, here's my ticket for this week.
We're doing, yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but both me and Lexi post all the time on our personal pages. We do retweet it on the Kingdom Queens page on Twitter as well. And I definitely, and I know Lexi is too, we're going to have a ton of tickets that we're putting in for this weekend with Super Wildcard weekend, because there's a lot of good games, and everybody that's on the field right now, they want to win. They want to win. So they are going to play really hard.
You're going to get the best play out of the best players. So it's a good time to place bets. I'm super excited to place my bets for tomorrow and Sunday and Monday night. I cannot wait.
Your pick.
But yeah, my picks, sorry. But we'll be posting all of those to our pages and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that.
Can't wait. So look out for us. So let's kind of get into Super Wildcard weekend, because there are some really great games. We're going to talk about like who we think has like the best advantage, who we think is going to win, like what the matchups look like. It's kind of crazy. So we have Saturday football, Sunday football, and Monday football, which is heaven. Technically, we have Thursday football with college, Friday football with college, NFL Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Yeah, I know.
This is like the perfect time of the year. Like
great.
The girls like us could not be more happy right now.
That's time of year.
So let's get into the first Saturday game, which is the Chargers at the Texans. So I don't know if you guys know this. Is a fun fact, but the 7 times that the Texans have ever been in the playoffs, they have always been in this time slot, which is crazy.
I saw that. That's interesting.
So like I saw that, and then I heard it again today from an actual media member, a beat writer who covers the Texans. And I was like, really? I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's insane. So Chargers, Texans. So I do believe that the Chargers have already left, and they're in Houston.
They're in Texas because they're already
in Houston because of the wildfires and everything chaotic that is happening in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I want to see the betting favorite for that game.
The
over-under
Chargers are the favorite, I believe. I think the Chargers are the favorite. The Texans are the underdog at home. Please check that. Now, I will say the Texans are in a tough situation. Tank Dell dealing with a gruesome injury.
Chargers are minus 3 right to win.
Yeah, they're the 3-point favorite. It was 2.5.
Yeah.
So the Chargers are the favorite, which, I mean, they're the healthiest. So that makes sense. Like, they are the healthier team right now. The Texans are going to have to play without Tank Dell, without Stephon Diggs. And this is, I will say, it's very cool that this is CJ Stroud's second year being in the playoffs, considering he was a rookie last year. So I will say, like, I love that he's only been in the NFL for 2 years.
Your mic just cut off kind of weird. I don't know why. It like stuttered. That was weird.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
That's
it's
weird.
like delayed though. I don't know. Oh well.
No.
I know. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I was just saying that this is CJ Stroud's second year being in the playoffs, which is really exciting because last year he was a rookie and he made it, and he's in there again this season.
Yeah, no, it's great. I don't know. And they also are out there. Their other defensive back, Jaden Petrie.
Oh yeah.
He's really good too. But the Chargers, well, they got Eli Apple healthy in their cornerback room.
Look at that secondary.
But I think they have
He's terrible.
J.K. Dobbins might be out. So that's not good. That's the running back.
Is he? Did they say that?
He's potentially out. He might be like game time. I don't know. But I honestly, that's a tough one. I'm actually very intrigued by this matchup. For me, I think Justin Herbert has been a lot better with Jim Harbaugh. I didn't think they would make the playoffs this year. They did make the playoffs. They have a lot of talent on their team. I want to see a lot out of Justin Herbert on Saturday because to me, he's been in one playoff game and they were up like 28-0 or 23-0 or something crazy. And then they went on and lost. And over the years, what I've noticed in playing Justin Herbert is he does not really have a great clutch factor. I've never seen him go on to like have this amazing game-winning drive or like I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. I'm just not fully sold on him. I think he's talented. I think he has a good arm. I think he throws a really pretty ball, but I don't know. I'm not fully sold on Justin. I think the Texans should feel really disrespected this week because you have the Chargers coming in who haven't even made the playoffs in years, and they're the favorites in your own home.
Well, they got embarrassed in front of Beyonce.
They did. Humiliated.
Outscored 2 points.
Yeah. So I guess it's deserving, but I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, I agree. Am I lagged right now?
Just like a tiny bit.
I don't think Justin Herbert has the clutch gene, but I think that was based off of who his coach was last year. And I think that Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach who just won a championship with Michigan. And I know that college is very different from the NFL, but he might be able to pull something out of him that we have not seen yet. So I actually think the Chargers go into Houston and win because they are more healthy. And where I think D'Amico is a really great coach, he has not dealt with this type of but he has not dealt with like this type of game to where Jim Harbaugh is used to it, even from a collegiate level. So he's been able to coach his guys through some type of situation like this. So I actually think the Chargers do pull this game off and they win and they send the Texans home to heal up and recover and to get ready for next season.
Oh man, I really am undecided on actually a lot of these games.
Yeah.
I kind of want to take the Texans.
I would love for the Texans to win. I would rather the Texans win.
I would too, and that's partially because I hate divisional games in the playoffs. I don't know. I think it'll actually be a surprisingly good game. I think it'll be better than people think it will be.
I don't know. I hope it is.
I think it will.
The Texans better not disappoint like they did on Christmas. Christmas was so bad.
I think like CJ was still recovering from emotions on Christmas, and I'm like just hoping he got his mind right. And
he ain't got no choice. Win or you're out.
Yeah, win or go home. So
win or go home. You ain't got no choice, and you at home.
Yeah, you have no excuse. I mean, you have a few injuries, sure, but you got to work with what you have, and I
would love for the Texans to. It's so funny because at Andy Reid's press conference today, someone asked him like, "How does he feel about going to the playoffs and the potential teams that we could play and blah blah blah?" And he was like, "It's kind of funny because the 4 potential teams, we've already played all 4 of them, so
yeah.
Hence why during all 4 of those games,
played every
vanilla.
Playoffs.
We knew it was going to be this type of situation, like." we're not going to open everything up for y'all in these regular season
No.
games when there's very high potential that we can see.
We're going to see
now.
one of you. Yeah.
We've seen all 4 of them already and beat them all. So yeah, like I'm not surprised by that, and I'm actually really excited. So I prefer the Texans to win, but I just think the Chargers pull it out.
I actually think I am going to take them to win. I think they could surprise people. I think if CJ can get out of his own head and play the football he can play,
the defense cannot let the Chargers come out here and score 30-something points.
Honestly, and then I saw I'm sorry, I forgot to say this earlier. I saw Quentin Johnston and Joshua Palmer, 2 of their wide receivers, are both questionable. So, like,
that's
you know,
but you know how that goes. Everybody's always healthy for the playoffs,
like, right? But I don't know. I think Texans could upset them at home. So
I hope so. I mean, I hope so.
I'm gonna be a believer. I'm gonna be a believer tomorrow.
I'm a big CJ fan, so
I am too.
I actually cannot wait to watch football all day tomorrow.
And sorry, but I never want anything good for a division rival. No offense.
Yeah, no, never, ever.
So.
Ever. The last game of the day, which is also pretty interesting because it is AFC North. It's Steelers versus Ravens. The Steelers have to go to Baltimore. The Steelers have lost their last 4 games.
Yeah. Tough.
George Pickens has looked like a bum.
Does he have a playoff mode he can channel?
Russell Wilson's 2-minute drill was disgusting.
Not good.
It was bad. Reminds you of why they only pay him like $1.3 million this season. It was awful. So I think
we'll dive into this next week, this O-line talk. We'll dive into that next week.
Oh yeah.
Chiefs O-line talk we'll get into next week.
And we have a special guest, and y'all are gonna be like, what? Like, we're actually gonna go live next Tuesday at 7.
And that person is gonna have some good insight. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Chef's kiss. Can't wait to have him on. It's gonna be a time. But Steelers at Ravens. So Ravens are healthy. Ravens are rolling. Lamar wants this MVP. Freaking Steelers. God bless.
I'm gonna be rooting for the Steelers.
Right. I'm gonna be rooting, but
no.
Who knows?
Only big thing is Zay Flowers for Baltimore's best receiver will be out for this game.
And I definitely think Baltimore can beat them without him.
I do too, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I think Baltimore is a good enough team. They have enough weapons. I mean, Isaiah Likely, freaking
Mark Andrews is insane.
Holy
Derrick Henry.
Back half of the season that Mark Andrews has had, he's had a touchdown like the last 6 games. Like, I would take him for any time touchdown.
Yeah. Yes.
So freaking good. I think the Ravens have everything.
Is huge.
I think they're who?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, absolutely. Take him for a touchdown.
Did you see Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since 2015?
Not surprised. But people, so I was actually talking to 2 of my really good Steelers friends the other day. And I was like, so talk to me about y'all losing 4 games in a row. Like, that's the way I approach them. Talk to me about y'all losing 4 games in a row, and what does that do for your confidence in this team? Because you guys look awful. That's the question I had. And they were like, yeah, a lot of people want Mike Tomlin out of here. And like, yeah, that he has this historic record of always having a winning season and being over 500 and all that. It doesn't mean anything if you can't get to the playoffs.
No.
And I'm like, I know that. I just wanted to know where your thought process was.
Yeah.
I know that that's horrible, but I'm nosy. So I just wanted to know how you felt about your head coach.
There comes a point when, sure, you go 9-8 or you go 10-7 or whatever, but what does that do for you? All it does is get you a mid to late round draft pick, and it gets you one and done in the playoffs year after year after year. And that's not fun. Like
literally that.
There's got to be, and I think a big issue for them has been quarterback also. I think if you get Mike Tomlin, an elite quarterback, I think it's a different situation.
Yeah.
But they haven't had that. I mean, I actually would love to see them.
I don't know, though, because George Pickens has not been good, and he's supposed to be their number one wide receiver, and they barely use Najee Harris.
He's a roller coaster.
He's emotionally unstable. He needs therapy. Boy needs therapy. Okay.
Not wrong.
Najee Harris can be really good, but he's getting old. So it's like, what are you doing there? Like TJ Watt, who is great, but he's always hurt. Like, you can't depend on him for a full season. So it's like the Steelers do have the pieces to be very successful.
They do.
But it's either coaching or quarterback. You see how quickly they gave up on Justin Fields. Like, that didn't last long at all. That was very short-lived.
Yeah.
Even though he won them a few games.
Yeah. What I want to see them do is actually dial up Justin Fields for some plays in this game.
Kind of like
get out of him.
Kind of like they do.
I think
who is that? Who they bring in for like just what team is that brings their quarterback in specifically?
Saints. The Saints, right?
Right. I'm like, who is that does that? They just bring him. I do well, and I will say though, they have like done that a few times. Like there are certain plays where they'll bring him in to run the ball for like 3 or 4 yards to get the first down.
Yeah, that's what I think. I want to see more of that. I want to see, and actually
the balance, especially in that 2-minute drive last week where they completely,
that was not good. Like
fell apart as an organization. I was like, if they were not already, if they didn't have a great start to their season, the Steelers could have very much missed the playoffs.
Right.
That was
what
not
I think, like. I was actually rewatching some of the film from our game against them, and when Russell Wilson turns on his legs, he's good. Like when he can run, like I want to see him do more of that. I want to see them get Justin Fields involved a little bit.
They need to pull everything out the bag.
I know TJ Watt, who was in the media saying he's like, I know I haven't won a playoff game, and that's a chip on my shoulder. So, and that's embarrassing. So we might see a more competitive. I mean, I think it's going to be a closer game than people think.
Well, it's a division game, so like
that too.
Should be, right?
They know each other really well.
They know each other very well, so it should be. And you know,
did the Ravens beat them?
Mike Tomlin can be very much like Andy Reid. Like, I'm not showing y'all everything right now.
Yeah,
I do believe that he is one of those coaches that is like, I'm not pulling everything out for y'all right now because I know I'm going to see you again later. Especially because they just had a game recently too. So anyway,
they just played each other. Ugh.
Who do you think wins that game, Steelers or Ravens? So we can get into Sunday.
Ravens.
I think the Ravens win too. After all,
but go Steelers.
Go Steelers. But the Ravens are probably going to win.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the Ravens? Saturday night football in Baltimore, More. Yeah, they probably going to win. Sunday. You didn't see my like. What was that?
No. What?
Remember NBC?
Oh yeah. Do 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 do.
And it would be the rainbow.
Yeah. Wait, I was gonna say real quick, the Steelers did beat the Ravens in November, 16-18.
Yeah.
So they can do it. It's been done.
Sunday at noon. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get brunch. I'm going to put a few tickets in. I'm going to pray. I'm going to look at my devotion from Jesus. And then I'm going to watch football at noon.
Yes,
Broncos at Bills.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is the game. This is my AFC game I'm most excited for.
The amount of people that think the Broncos are going to go pull off this win. No. They're like, they got embarrassed by the Bengals. They're flying high after beating the Chiefs. Bo Nix is, that dude. Like, he got that energy right now to where he could go out and pull out an upset over Josh Allen. The Broncos defense has been looking good. The Bills secondary is terrible. Their defense is not great. They may put up 30 points, but they give up 29. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen what the Broncos just did to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals look like they could beat the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game.
The Broncos can clearly go into a hostile environment.
They can, yeah.
They played a primetime game against the Bengals, and it was their striped out game where they had the seats orange and black and orange and black. They wore their special little pants.
That was like a playoff game. That
was 1000% a playoff atmosphere. The Bills have everybody healthy right now. No one should be missing.
Do. They actually do for once.
The Broncos are healthy too. They should not be missing anybody right now either.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think in the end, I think it's going to be too much for rookie bonus. Yeah, I just do. I don't think Josh Allen is going out round one after the chip he's going to have on his shoulder for like a lot of this.
Fantastic.
That would be hilarious, but I don't think it's happening.
I would literally be like, Lexi, we're going to the bar now.
Shots.
We're going right now. We gotta go.
Oh my god, yeah. Like
right now.
But yeah, ultimately, I think the Bills are gonna win.
I do think the Bills are gonna win too. Josh Allen, just like Lamar Jackson, is fighting to get this MVP. And if you're going off of the all-pro votes, it looks like Lamar is leading that right now. So I would not be surprised if like Josh Allen did like one of those in his head things to where he felt like it had to be an over my dead body game. But at the same time, he may have some errors. He may fumble the ball. He may throw an interception. He may do some of those things. And if we look at the performance from when like they played the Patriots, when the Bills played the Patriots, and we were like, okay, the Patriots could win this game. Yeah. But we know that they don't want to win because they don't want to give up their draft capital. The Bills did not look good during that game. And their last 3 games have not been like...
No, but that was their backups too, and we didn't look good at all.
Right. But I'm saying their last 3 games, the Bills, they were not very competitive to where the Broncos' last 3 games, they had the Broncos... Sorry, they had the Chiefs and they had the Bengals. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying, like at least the Chiefs and the Ravens, what we've gone through in these past few weeks have been very battle tested, minus our Week 18 game. But the Bills, like you said, they had Patriots, Jets, Patriots, which is kind of a odd way to end your year.
Easy. They wanted to make sure that they were. If I ain't never seen nobody try to give somebody an MVP agenda in my life, they was trying to get the Bills the 1 seed bad.
Didn't work, but they tried.
They got their bye week super late. Ours was very early. Our last half of the schedule was not easy.
Every other freaking playoff team except the Chargers got their bye week really late. The Chargers and us had it like week 6. Literally. Everyone else was like past week 10.
We've been out here fighting for our life for the last 10 weeks of football.
Literally.
12 weeks of football. I don't want to hear it.
God.
Before we get into the next game, which I'm really excited about, thank you to everybody who is listening in to us. We have over 1,300 listeners right now. If you are listening in on YouTube, please take a moment and make sure to go like our episode today. Make sure you're commenting and giving us that engagement too. We're super grateful for y'all. And again, if you missed it, we will be live next Tuesday, not Friday. I know we've been on Fridays the last 3 weeks, but we will be back on Tuesday.
Back on Tuesday, finally.
Back on Tuesday, finally. Gotta be normal. It's not our fault. Nobody told them to take a 24-day break.
And no one decided, like, we didn't put New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve on Tuesday, so
we did not make this calendar. We just literally here for the vibe. So thank y'all so much for being here with us. We love y'all, but please go give us a thumbs up like Brian just said. Make sure you're commenting on the show as well and helping us just skyrocket our engagement. Super grateful for y'all. So back to Sunday football, the 3:30 game, which is Packers versus Eagles. This is a rematch of their week 1 game where they were in Brazil. During this game, it was very close until the very end. And then all of a sudden, Jordan Love went down with an injury. That was very scary. They were actually thinking that it was a season-ending injury, and thank God that it wasn't. He was able to come back after a few weeks. But yeah, this is a rematch.
Jordan Love has
Jalen Hurts has finally been cleared. Jalen Hurts has finally been cleared from concussion protocol, and he's able to practice now, and he should be able to play in this game this week. Everybody should be back healthy this week for both of these teams. So actually, no, Christian Watson may be out, or he is out for this week.
Yeah, he is.
Christian Watson is battling with the injury. Is he out? Christian Watson's out this week. I'm almost positive he is out this week. So Jordan Love will be playing without one of his best receivers. But freaking Josh Jacobs, holy moly, is having one heck of a season with the Packers this year. Jordan Love has been really good. But the Eagles are really good too, and they have a lot of dynamic pieces, and they're definitely fighting to get back to that Super Bowl spot. So,
Christian Watson's ACL.
Yeah, he's out.
And then Jair Alexander had that.
He's out as well, right? So, and they're going to Philly for this game.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? Who do you think
wins? Gosh, let's see. I'm looking at the injury report right now. I think the Eagles win. I honestly, at the beginning of the season, I had the Packers and Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That was my prediction. Same as Peter Schrager. But yeah, you can't predict injuries and all that stuff. I think a lot of people do think the Packers can go in there and upset them. I do think they're going to make it a good game.
Oh, absolutely.
Ultimately, I think the Eagles are going to win, and I think it's going to be an over my dead body Saquon Barkley game is what I think.
Especially because he did not get to play Week 18.
That part.
Record. I would. You know what? Okay, wait. I was listening to something.
Record. I don't think he's going out round one.
I was listening to something earlier, and I was like, "Dang, you got a point." So, what I was listening to earlier, they were like, if I was you, I would actually take Saquon for 2 touchdowns this week because you know how the Eagles are in short goal line, not even goal line, but short yardage situations. They're going to put Jalen Hurts out there, and they're going to probably do a QB sneak. But because we know that he's coming off a concussion, are they going to do that? Yeah. Are they going to lead with the QB sneak, or are they going to really just be like, Saquon got it? We know he can go out there and get us 2 or 3 yards every single time. And I was like, that's a really good point because you're not going to want to put your quarterback in another situation to where he can be out. He cannot miss any more games. Right. And you said it earlier. Is Jalen 100% right now, or is he good enough to play in this playoff game? So you're definitely not going to want to put him in a situation to where you might not have him during the divisional round.
And that's the thing. And I think 80% Jalen Hurts is going to be better than anything else you're going to get. So
absolutely.
That's no offense to Kenny Pickett or anyone else. But Jalen has led you to a Super Bowl before. You're going to play him in this game. So, but yeah, that's a good point. I think it's going to be a heavy Saquon game.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown who were top of the charts all season long.
Those dudes are good.
And then their defense is elite. I just don't see them going out round one. So I think they win this one.
I agree. And then the last game on Sunday, which is going to be another great game. You got the Commanders versus the Bucks. Now, there was a stat. Let me look at this. No, that's not right.
I also want to say really quick about Jordan Love too. These past few weeks, he hasn't also had that clutch factor. He
hasn't.
It's not been. I don't know. So I'm not. Yeah. Anyway,
I've expected more from him. That is 100% sure.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I've expected more from him out of this season. Mm-hmm. And I do think though him having that injury at the beginning of the year and missing definitely has something to do with that. For sure, it has something to do with it. And it probably messed with him mentally, but now he's really kind of back in his bag.
Yeah.
And I also think though the playoffs puts everybody in a different mindset.
It does.
it's gonna put me in a different mindset, and I'm
for sure.
Couch, you know what I'm saying? So, but no, Commanders versus Bucks. Last week we seen something amazing with the Bucks. They figured out a way to make sure Michael Evans got his 1,000 yards so he can get that $3 million incentive, which I absolutely love.
Love.
That they were able to do that. But Commanders versus Bucks. Now, Jaden Daniels is really good, but I think he has shown us that he can be a rookie.
Yes,
there's a few things that he's done, and I'm like, dang, I forget he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
I think it's
he wouldn't do some of those things if he was, if it was year 3 or year 4.
Right. I was thinking about last season. I was watching the Bucks played the Lions in the divisional round, I think.
Yeah.
Divisional round.
Yeah.
And the Bucks played them really well. Like Baker Mayfield went to a different mode in playoffs. He almost had that. And then, he did throw an interception to end the game. But, I think he kind of gets his get back this year. I think he kind of is out to prove a point.
Baker Mayfield has been good. And a lot of people don't realize that him and Pat came in at the same time.
They were legendary in college.
He's an OG.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that they came in at the same time?
And it's crazy. I do think it's going to be a good game. I think Jaden Daniels and they're going to put up a good fight. I really do think that. But I think it's going to come down to some rookie mistakes, and I do think the Bucks take that one. So that's where I'm at.
And the game is also in Tampa Bay.
It is. It is.
So I don't know.
The Commanders are just an interesting team. They are. I don't believe in
Cliff Kingsbury. I don't believe in Cliff Kingsbury, no matter how fine of a man he is. I don't believe.
I don't think that's my problem. I just think.
But I think
they're there yet.
But Terry McLaurin might be the best person on the field.
He is, but even they weren't connecting really great. Do you remember on Sunday Night Football? Yeah. They barely connected for anything.
Who did they play?
The Falcons.
Yeah, and they're not a great team.
So
I don't know. I don't know. I see this game literally going either way.
It's definitely one that could go either way. But
Baker Mayfield could throw 3 interceptions.
He could, but he also redeemed.
Jaden can too. Jaden can throw 2 or 3 interceptions. Yeah. So it's really. I think for this game, you low key have to break down who has the best players on their roster.
Yeah.
And when you look at Mike Evans and when you look at Terry McLaurin, I'm going to pick Terry McLaurin over Mike Evans. And Mike Evans is a freaking Hall of Famer. You know how I advocate for him every year because he has so many 1,000-yard seasons. And he's just super clutch. But because Tampa Bay, and I think that's another reason why maybe the Commanders can pull the win off because it's not like they're going to a cold weather city. It's going to be warm in Tampa. So I'm just not really 100% sure which way that this can go. Terry is a freaking beast. And, could you imagine? So if Jaden Daniels pulls out this win, he would be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but I think they already turned those votes, didn't they?
I think you say you think they've already turned in those votes?
I think so. I think
regular season.
No, they did because I was listening to Pat McAfee and one of the guys on his show has a vote and he was saying they submitted it the other day. So
yeah, I was I think they do it during the regular season. So
yeah, right. But I do still think he could win. I think he probably will win.
He can win. I do. I mean, he's so freaking good.
Listen, I think the Commanders are really good. I think they're going to be even better next year. I just don't think right now
they're going to be so good next year. Yeah. They're going to be competing next year.
They come to Arrowhead next year and play us. So
I cannot wait to watch them here.
Same.
So I don't know. I'm really torn between this game. I think he can go either way, and I actually think I'm going to take the Commanders this week.
Are you?
I think I'm going to take the Commanders. And I like Baker Mayfield, and I love Mike Evans real bad.
And Bucky Irving, and
he's a beast. But I think I'm gonna go Commanders. I don't know. It's giving like when Patrick Mahomes was not a rookie, but his second year, and no one had faith in him, and he came out and put on one heck of a
Yeah,
performance
it would.
in a
I
show.
mean, he
That's kind
absolutely
of the
did.
same energy that I get from Jaden Daniels. So I've been rocking with him all season. Like I've just been very impressed by what he's been able to do at this rookie
Same,
level.
same. He's very, very good. I'm excited.
Everybody's proud, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do it.
I like it. I'm gonna go
I'm gonna
back.
do it.
That's one of
No,
those that could go
that's
either
not
way.
a wrong.
Yeah.
And the Bucks are the favorite. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last game.
This one's hard too.
This one's actually really hard. Now it's really hard. Prior, I was like, okay, they're gonna win, but now I'm like neutral site. I don't know. But
I don't know.
Vikings at Rams at Arizona. The
Mhm.
Rams will be the home team, even though they are in Arizona, but it's a neutral location. And they were kind of talking about how, like, I was listening to Kansas City Sports Radio this morning, and they were talking to someone from Circa in Las Vegas. If you've been
Oh
to
yeah.
Vegas, you know what Circa is. And he was talking about like the betting lines. And at that point, they hadn't said that they were moving the game yet. But he was saying that a lot of people have a lot of money on the Vikings right now. But if that game moves or changes, it could even out. Because now it's like you're playing in an even playing field and you don't know whose fans are going to show up.
Yeah. I
And the
heard
Rams are at an advantage now. They're at a disadvantage now because now they do have to relocate and they have a little bit of trauma that they're dealing with too. You know what I mean? So
I I know. And I feel like their whole focus hasn't been just solely football this week, which isn't great.
it's
Um
like, am I alive and is my family okay?
yeah. So that's a huge bummer to happen. That's another reason why I think it could affect the Chargers too, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Um
100%.
but
100%.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's tough. I saw a post somewhere that said they still expect it to be like I think it was 65 or 70% Rams fans still. Because I think they said like at least so far 30,000 of their season ticket holders in SoFi have bought the tickets now in Arizona. So they do expect a
Well,
lot of
because
them
I'm
to
sure
still
they're
go.
giving them a and like me and you were just having this conversation with one of our friends who's a huge Vikings fan who actually lives in Arizona. And I was like, the tickets actually might not be
That
as
bad.
drastic as you think because
Right.
it's in Arizona and both of the teams have to travel. And if you remember, I think it was the year DeMar Hamlin got sick, but they had to like push the game and it kind of threw everything off. And then the
Mhm.
Chiefs were almost getting ready to have the Bills game in Atlanta. If you
Oh
remember
yeah.
that
Yeah, that
whole
I
chaos.
do. Mhm.
So we were like, okay, let's go to Atlanta to go watch this game because why not? Right? Like that
Yeah,
stadium's beautiful. The tickets were actually not as high as we thought they were going
as
to
we
be. Like
thought,
I
yeah.
thought they were going to be like skyrocket high, and they
Yeah.
weren't. So there might be a lot of just like Arizona fans there because like if that happened and somebody had to come to Kansas
Right.
City, I would be like, Lexi, we're going to the game.
I
I'm
so
like,
my dad is out in Arizona. I told him he should
oh
go.
yeah.
He's thinking about it. He's like, actually, that'd be kind of fun. So I'm like, you
My
should go.
brother and sister-in-law are out there too, and I'm like, y'all should go because,
You
like,
should
of course, when the
go.
Super Bowl was out there a few years ago, they were there the whole week.
Yeah, yeah. They were all into all that
I'm
stuff.
like,
So
you gotta go. Like, I
it's
would
fun.
go. So, and I do think that, like, that's so funny that you say this. Somebody else said this earlier too that
First
they should
playing
move
St.
the game to
Louis.
St. Louis. I kind of laughed because someone else said that earlier too, and I was like,
I don't
that
know how
would
the
be.
St. Louis would feel about that.
Yeah, they would be like, first of
A
all,
lot of them are
if you have
still
not
mad
been,
that they went to LA.
let me tell you how raggedy that stadium is now.
Yeah, that too.
Went this year, I was gonna say, oh no, that was last year.
Oh
Went
yeah, you
last
went
year
to the Battle
for
Hawk.
a Battlehawks game and was like, it's dirty in here. Get me out of here.
Yeah,
It's dirty. It's dirt everywhere.
not
Anyway,
good.
that
Not
doesn't matter.
good.
So I don't know who wins this game because the Rams have been really good here lately. The Vikings were embarrassed against the Lions the other day. So they should be playing with some like, get back. and they have been preparing to travel anyway. And technically their flight is shorter now, so they're getting there quicker. They're able to get a little bit settled faster.
And the Rams are like disheveled kind of right now.
So who knows? But I do think, and you know, I love AOC. I just said this last week. I love AOC, but I do think Sean McVay is the better coach.
No, you mean KOC?
Who'd I say?
AOC.
Oh yeah, Aiden O'Connell was terrible. Kevin O'Connell. I think Sean McVay is a better coach than him. So
he's more accomplished. I mean, yeah.
I mean, he got a Super Bowl. So I do think that he can get this team ready and where they need to be. I think both teams are healthy. Nobody's really dealing with injuries either.
I think they're like fairly healthy for the most part.
I mean, 18 football. However healthy you can be from that.
Yeah. This is a really tough one. I honestly have no idea how this game is going to go.
I don't either.
Both have really good offenses. I'd say the Vikings defense, I'd give them the edge.
Do you think the Rams can beat the Lions? Because the winner of this game is going to play the Lions, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not right. No, that's not right.
Oh, no, that'd be the Commanders.
Commanders or whoever is in it. Yeah.
Unless
they would play eventually. I think the winner of this game is going to play the Lions eventually because I think the Lions are going to go to the NFC Championship game.
And if the Vikings win this week, then they go to the Lions.
Correct.
Unless the Commanders beat the Bucks, then they would go. But yeah, I don't know. Man, I do not know.
They would see each other next week.
Did you see but did you see Sean McVay? I guess so after the Lions-Vikings game last week, Dan Campbell walked off the field and said to Kevin O'Connell that he'll see them in a week. I guess Sean McVay printed that out and put it up in the locker room and was like,
that's disrespectful. You're just counting us out.
Very disrespectful.
Okay. Right. Bulletin board material.
So I love that.
I love Sean McVay. I want him to somehow end up on the Chiefs coaching staff somehow. I don't know how.
I don't either. But
it would be my dream retiring. But I love Sean McVay real bad.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I just think his brain is like, he's so creative. He's so good.
Very. I don't know.
I'm gonna go Rams.
I kind of want to go Rams too.
I'm gonna go Rams.
I'm gonna go Rams too. I think I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rams.
Sam Darnold has a lot to prove.
I think they're going all on adrenaline right now. All adrenaline.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna go win it for their city. Go win.
And then have a few days to get ready to play again the following week.
Yeah, God.
No matter where that's going to be at, whether it's in LA or wherever.
I don't think they should have a Monday night playoff game.
Their next game is going to be on the road regardless.
Yeah.
So it would either be like Philly or Tampa. Well, no, because if Tampa wins and the Rams win, then Tampa would technically go to LA. But if Philly wins, then they would go to Philly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Who are the 6 teams left for them? 4? Who are the 1, 2, 3?
So it's Lions. Is that what you're asking?
For the NFC.
It's Lions, Eagles, Rams,
Eagles,
Bucks.
Packers, Bucks, Commanders, Vikings, Rams. That's the 6 left. I was just trying to. So the Rams, if they won and the Bucks won, then they would go to Tampa because Tampa's the higher seed because they won their division. If the Eagles won, they would travel.
The Rams
are the Rams the 3 or the 4? The Rams are the 3.
They're the 3. They won
So
one
then
more
Tampa
game.
would
Yeah.
travel to LA. But if the Eagles won, then the Rams would travel to Philly.
Yeah.
And then whoever wins that game would play the Lions next week. Well, no, I'm wrong. I need to look at the spreadsheet. Because somebody's playing the Eagles. Somebody's playing the Lions next week regardless. Which
the Lions are playing the lowest seed that wins. The Lions are playing the lowest seed that wins.
Commanders to the Bucks game. That's between the Commanders and the Bucks.
No,
that's between.
They win.
Who's the lowest?
So if the Vikings win, then they would go to the Lions.
Correct.
If the Vikings win, they would go to the Lions. If the Commanders win, they would go to the Lions. If the Packers win, they would go to the Lions. So it really is, yeah. It's whoever the lowest seed. It's the same thing with us too. It's like whoever the lowest.
The Rams are the 4.
Us.
But the Rams are the 4. So they would play the Eagles if the Eagles win? Because the Eagles are the 2?
Yeah, because the Rams are the 3rd seed. Yeah, so they would go to the Eagles.
Huh. That's fine. They need an away game. Get them out of there.
Honestly.
I'm like, get them out of there. They need an away game. This is
actually Rams
memory and no graph in front of me.
Rams Eagles would be a really would not
unless Philly got a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Which they're getting snow right now too.
We'll get there when we get there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. So the Chiefs don't play this week again. Look, the Chiefs don't play this week again. But we are gonna dive all into 1 seed on Tuesday because we will know who we're playing. Yeah, we're gonna know who we're playing and we're gonna know what time we're playing. Technically, right now, we don't know if we play on Saturday or Sunday. I'm pretty sure we're playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because we've had the longest amount of rest out of everybody. So I'm pretty sure we're playing the Saturday game and not the Sunday game. And then we'll just figure out if we play at 3 or at 7. Which I also think we get the day game. And hopefully not. I think we get the day game because if we win, then the AFC Championship game is going to be at night at Arrowhead, which is going to be so freaking. So
yeah,
I'm like,
we'll see what it is. We'll see what I can't wait though. Cannot wait.
Holy moly.
To see what.
If you have not got on Homage, make sure you go to homage.com, look at their apparel. They have so much new vintage apparel out there. A lot of stuff that's going to be really good for cold weather games, which we already know that we're getting ready to have a really cold weather game next week here in Kansas City. Go on there, look at their vintage apparel, buy something, use promo code.
They just emailed us too saying they have some good stuff going for the playoffs as well. So if you're a playoff team or want to check out that stuff, then
you need warm apparel. You need a jacket. You need a coat.
You do. Or a sweatshirt.
It's going to be freezing. So make sure that you get on there and you go find you some apparel for this home game that's next week. Lastly, shout out to Boulevard Brewery, one of our favorite partners. And they always take care of us.
I drink on.
However, we did let you guys know last week that if you are doing a dry January, they do have some really good mocktails that are on their website right now, or that you can go out and purchase too. So they do have drinks that do not have alcohol. So you can definitely go and get those too if you are doing a dry January. We support all of these lovely things.
Yes, always.
Other than that.
Yeah, like and follow us on all of our social platforms.
That's YouTube. Almost 1,500 people today. So, hey, y'all. I'm like, hey, y'all. On a random Friday, even though it looks like we've been most consistent on Fridays, but I swear to God, I swear to God, we're not normal on Fridays. So we'll be back next Tuesday with a special.
We'll be back on Tuesday.
And our special guest is going to give us a lot of tea. It's a he. He knows a lot of things before. He's never been on here before, and y'all love him. So y'all need to just make sure that y'all are here because we also are obsessed with him too.
Should we just say who it is, or should we not tell the name?
We're gonna make a boy.
All right. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be a fun time, and it is Jeffrey pointed out earlier too in the comments, it is our 100th episode of Kingdom's Queens. I can't believe it. That's crazy.
100th episode going
100.
into the divisional weekend. How poetic is that?
And y'all, since we started this podcast, all we've done is win Super Bowls. So like I feel like it's some good juice.
We keep trying to tell y'all, it's us.
We're the reason, honestly.
It's literally us. Like, you're welcome. We love you here. But no, y'all be safe. Like I said, the temperature has dropped and all of that snow stuff has started to turn into ice. So please just be careful if you are out driving around.
Yes.
If you are listening on YouTube right now, please make sure to go like this episode. Comment how much you enjoyed the episode as well. I feel like I should go look while I'm on here with y'all to see if y'all are doing y'all job.
Oh my God.
22 likes so far. Not bad, y'all. 22 likes.
Pretty good. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate the support. Yeah. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Friday. Enjoy some stress-free football, and I can't wait to see who the Chiefs play.
Sorry, I was like,
maybe we'll do like a special little segment, or I don't know. We'll figure out something to do.
We could probably do a giveaway.
We actually do have a few things we could give away, actually. So we'll think about that.
We could probably do a giveaway. We got stuff. I just gotta find it.
We got stuff.
I gotta find it. But no.
I have one of these really cool Patrick Mahomes posters we could give away.
Oh yeah. And we could probably call Pink Lips and get some good like winter package together to give away for our 100th episode as well.
Yeah, so we'll figure something out.
The people who are listening in.
Yes.
Okay, well, again, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much. We love y'all. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye. Love y'all.